Right then, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Manchester United against Arsenal tomorrow, and a massive opportunity, I think. I feel like this is almost like a free hit for Ruben Amorim, because he's very much doing this sort of pre-season, let me have a look at everybody sort of thing at the moment, where I don't necessarily think he's choosing what he believes is our best 11 in each game. I could be wrong on that, but I don't believe that he is. I think he's going, let me have a look at all of these so I can make a decision ahead of January and we can be set up for long-term success rather than just me trying to, because you can get into the habit of, let me just win this game, let me just win this game, let me just win this game. Like, you kind of need to go, listen, I need to see what's going on and then we can move forward with like some purpose. So this one feels like a bit of a free hit. You go to the Emirates. I don't think United have got the right to go to the Emirates and believe we should be winning this game. I would happily take a draw right now. I think in all probability, United are probably going to get beat. That being said, you never know. You never know. It will be an incredibly tough game against a tough opposition, but there should be a little bit of confidence coming into it from United after beating Everton 4-0. Arsenal should be confident as well. They managed to score 5 themselves despite conceding a couple against West Ham. A lot of strengths and weaknesses on show for them. We are up to 9th, much improved already on 19 points. 2 wins, I think, puts us level with Arsenal. Obviously, beating Arsenal gets halfway there. We beat Forest. If they lost again, we'd be on the same points. They're going to need the win to even think about closing the gap on Liverpool. So a draw or a loss doesn't do them any good. And that sometimes can put you in a bit of a weird situation where you're almost too scared of the draw that you end up drawing. Whereas United, no expectation to go to this game and win, could end up being in a real good position. And United come into this with 2 suspensions to 2 very key players. And weirdly, not asked. Weirdly, we've replaced both of those players in the starting 11, and I think we're fine. That doesn't feel right to say, does it? Doesn't feel right to say. Leny Yoro still ruled out. Sounds like he may be involved in the squad in this game. Lindelof and Evans are both doubts. For Arsenal, the likes of Tomiyasu and Ben White are ruled out. Merino and Partey are doubts. Now, let's get into how Arsenal are going to play. They are all about being solid and squeezing teams into submission. They can be a very deadly side, and they have sort of exceeded all expectations in recent years. Arteta has experimented with the side a little bit of late, and they have undergone a little bit of another evolution, and they tend now to showcase a little blend of structure when it comes to defending and quite aggressive attacking transitions. They go with a quite flexible 4-3-3 formation. You can occasionally see that looking like a 3-box-3, and sometimes even a 4-4-2 variation. It is very adaptable, and maybe not to the extent that Mikel Arteta thinks it is at times. Remember that clip of him saying that they played 43 formations in one game? Anyway, Arsenal have the perfect manager for their fans. The key to them, though, is that they have very high defensive standards. Saliba and Gabriel has been it's been a good defensive partnership for them. It's probably been instrumental in why they've had the number of clean sheets that they've had. The back line has total tactical understanding. They are totally in tune with each other, and they know when to step, when to drop, when to recover for each other, when to cover for each other. The use of inverted fullbacks is very good. They still semi-mess with almost like a back 4 of centre-halves at times. But they use the sort of the tactical understanding of those fullback, whether it's from Calafiori to Zinchenko, Timber to Ben White. They all look to sort of provide coverage in so many key areas of the pitch with sort of a defence-first mentality with them. At the opposite end of the pitch, they're looking at trying to make the opposition suffer while they're trying to play out from the back. They tend to go man-to-man. with intensity and hostility in hopes that they can force errors inside the opposition's own half. Now, I don't think United look perfect playing out at the moment, but I think we will attempt to play out. Looking at the stats when it comes to Onana, he's going shorter more often now. He's almost completely taken the long balls out of his game, so I think United will go short. So that could be an issue with us, getting caught playing out, an error playing out, especially with someone like Luke Shaw, who's technically very good, but probably coming in for Martinez, probably won't be game fit. A game of this kind of magnitude might be a little bit too soon for him. He might be the weakness in that back line that ends up dropping a bollock. The rest of the back line really is quite technically secure. That might be the weakness that Arsenal try and pick up on. They will absolutely look to try and test that in terms of the fragility that we've got. And I think you can see the way United rested players ahead of this, that we're going to go with... I think that this is going to be a look at what Amorim thinks he can trust the most. On the ball, Arsenal are going to be a little bit like of a machine. The likes of Odegaard, Havertz, Saka, Saliba are the big cause for concern, I think, for United. All of those are confident in possession. They have the ability to do serious damage. They have done before. When they switch into that free box free in possession, they're going to load the midfield, look to dominate the centre of the park. Not somewhere that United looking to dominate, really. And we don't really, because you've got a bit of a line, you might have to ask one of those 10s to come back and help fill in and overload a little bit, almost maybe move into a 4-4-2, perhaps. Or at least even maybe a 5-3-2. Give us a little bit of depth in there. It'd be interesting to see what defensive shapes that United make up, because I wasn't happy with the way that Everton played the ball through the lines against us on Sunday, and I'm looking at those line breaks, thinking, oh my God, Arsenal will have an absolute field day here with us. They like to go with a false 9 in Kai Havertz. They like to bring in Jorginho to partner Rice. That's allowed them to create that box, make it very solid. They want the overloads. They want to disrupt the opposition shape. They want to drag you out of areas or into areas that are unfamiliar with them. The good news for United on one hand is all of the shapes are unfamiliar to us at the moment. So it might just be that United rely a little bit more on instinct rather than instruction in this game. After winning the ball, they're going to counter press. After winning the ball, they're going to counter aggressively. The likes of Saka and Trossard, big presence, big awareness, positioned to attack and to attack dangerously. That will be a big danger for us also. Maybe we see Dalot doing a little bit of what we saw against Bodo Glimt second half, where he almost rolls in and makes it a back four with Mazraoui at right back and maybe pushes Ahmad up a little bit higher into being more of a traditional winger than a wing back. It'll be very interesting. If United can be fluid with our formation, we might have a chance at doing this. But, we're going to be put under the cosh by Arsenal. Make no mistake about it. And then you have to worry about Arsenal at set plays. They are notorious for being incredibly efficient at set plays. Having 4 sort of natural centre-halves in the back line, it gives them a physical presence in the situations that has just really improved them. The West Ham game alone was a little bit of Arsenal at their best and also at their worst a little bit. Rampant goal scoring, excellent from set pieces. The disruption of the opposition was deadly, but there were lapses in concentration, some poor discipline, and that should give us some things to be thinking about and hopeful for as we come into this game. Star man, I think Saka, in 18 games, he's got 11 assists and 7 goals. He did get 3 assists in the last game. He likes to stretch teams. He demands attention and focus. Luke Shaw coming back from an injury and Dalot kind of not fully settled into this formation is a little bit of a worry trying to deal with him. He makes very good decisions. I think sometimes he can play a little bit on the safe side, but he does make very good decisions, and he will be a threat. Now, for the United team to face Arsenal, I would like to go with as follows. And I think this is quite an easy team to pick, and there's only one position in this team that I think there's a little bit of a discussion to be had. Now, I'll give you my team, but let me know yours in the comments and let me know if you agree with my team or not. So I think Onana in net, shooting, right? The back three, left side, we're going to go Luke Shaw, De Ligt in the centre. Hopefully he can deal with some of the aerial threat that we're going to get with Arsenal. And then Mazraoui right side centre half. I think that is an absolute tap-in of a decision, as is Ahmad playing right wing back. Might have even been the first name that we wrote down. I think it'll be Dalot because there hasn't really been anybody emerge on the left-hand side that we can trust yet. So it'll be Dalot. And even though he's been pretty ordinary, I think it'll be Dalot. I think Casemiro and Ugarte, I'm quite looking forward to seeing those two. I think that's a good option for us. Good defensive first sort of mentality, but both of them can play and both of them, it looks like, kind of understand the system. So that's a real positive for us. We're going to have 7 players in the backfield that at least kind of know what they're doing and should give us some good coverage. Ugarte especially could be massive for Manchester United in this game. And then it's the forward line. Because we've got so many forwards now, which seems mad, we literally have 3 forwards that are all on a brace in their last game. How do you pick this? Well, Bruno will play, right? So just scratch him out and stick him on the list because Bruno is going to play, make no mistake about it. I think he goes with Højlund, and I think that's why he rested Højlund against Everton. I think Højlund plays, and I think he plays, and he was rested because he's going to be asked to press the life out of the Arsenal defence, and that is where the lapse in concentration from Arsenal can come in that we might be able to take advantage of. And then, the decision over this final player should tell you whether United are going to play a little bit on the counter, think what Sporting did to Manchester City, or if we are going to try and play where we press them high. If we're going to play on the counter, it's Marcus Rashford. And you almost go to a 3-4-1-2 rather than a 2-1. And you have Højlund and Rashford tasked with being fast players that are going to ask a lot of questions. And if you put 2 players up against the 2 centre-halves of Arsenal, they will be forced to leave a third in there to deal with this. And then Bruno can get in and around the likes of Rice. If United are going to press high, it's Mason Mount. If United are going to try and take the game to them, it's Mason Mount, and you leave the likes of Garnacho and Rashford on the bench for the last 25-30 minutes. I lean towards, and again, I don't know enough about Amorim yet and these tendencies in these games. I lean towards, probably because of what he said about Mason Mount, I think he's almost sort of 3D chess this. Let me just kind of put a little bit of a seed in his head that Mason Mount is a big player for us. And in a big game, you play your big players. I think he's going to play Mason Mount. So I think that's going to be the team. Bruno and Mount in behind Højlund. A very strong, a very aggressive midfield. And a Højlund that's on fire. Oh, I almost feel like we might have a chance. I almost feel like we might have a chance. As always, this is proudly sponsored by our friends at Hollywood Bets, and they've got another offer for you for this showdown between Arsenal and United at the Emirates. They're going, both teams, to score. They're going Saka with a shot on target, over 0.5 shot on target. We're going with Rashford for over 0.5 shot on target in 90 minutes. Match corners of over 8.5, and Timber to be carded anytime. That's gone from 30 to 36, which means if you place a tenner on this, you will get 370 back. That is a sensational offer. I like that. If you want to get involved, click the link in the description to get started. If you're new to Hollywood Bets, you can create an account very quick, very easy, and new customers can access a whole host of additional offers. Details for those are in the description. Odds will be subject to change. You must be over 18 to participate, and football is unpredictable, so it's just a little bit of an excitement adder to enhance your viewing experience, and certainly no guarantee of a win. For more information, check out gambleaware.org. So this bet is brought to you by Hollywood Bets and myself, so check the link in the description. Let me know your bets for this game in the comments. Right, how do we win this? Well, you got to play Amorim's way. A massive positive of the 3-4-2-1, 3-4-3, is that it has players in good positions to exploit the weaknesses of Arsenal. Arsenal will want to stretch us, so the the sort of the wing backs, the left and right midfield, will be very crucial on the ball. They will be vital in trying to find areas for our forwards to get on the ball. Their centre halves might be stretched enough, they might be pulled wide enough to give us a chance on goal if we can start looking ahead and finding clever through balls. Whoever is chosen to start up top for us, they're going to need to disrupt the defensive line as much as possible. And that's why I think it was Højlund that was rested. Because I think what he might be doing is using rotation to keep people fresh, because what he's going to ask of them is going to be taxing. And I think a real difference maker in this game could be the energy levels of United, which hasn't really been a thing in recent times, but we've got options. If Bruno fades, cool, Xerxes comes on. If Højlund fades, cool, Marcus Rashford comes on. You know, if Mount fades and that's who starts, maybe it's Garnacho that comes on. Energy off the bench is something that United just have not had. If United are able to, we're going to need to do what we did against Everton, which is be clinical, which is not something that we've been all season. But if you can find the space to give Ahmad a little bit of a license to roam, he will make a big difference here. You got to be aggressive with your forward movement. Arsenal will play a high line, so the pace, whether it's Rashford or Højlund, in behind, will be absolutely critical. And make it count. Chances will be a luxury against Arsenal. They're not going to give loads. They are defensively very, very good, it hurts me to say. You can't afford to squander chances. You're going to have to make them count. We're going to have to put the ball in the back. We can't have what Delors did against West Ham. Put it that way. Players are going to have to step up in times like this. If you want to be in contention for being a title-winning squad in the next few years, you have to put your credentials on the table when it comes to the big games. This is a big game. This is a team that think they're in a title race. Take them out of one. And give everyone a marker for what this Manchester United team might be capable of. That's what I think is going to happen. You let me know what you think is going to happen in the comments below, and I'll catch you lot in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.